We are having so many technical difficulties. Who am I really to have a live stream the day that Mercury stations? Like, that is bold in and of itself. I just have to do a couple of things because okay, here's what happened is I am trying to go live on my computer. My plan was to concurrently go live on YouTube as well as TikTok. But for some reason on YouTube, there's like a screen that says top chat and it's blocking where I would go live on. So I'm not able to go live on my computer. It's bothering me so much, but this is my fault for planning a live stream while the moon is in a Mercury ruled sign and my ruling planet stations retrograde later today. I should have known. And I was really going to try. Like, after these live streams, a lot of times I'll just delete them. But I was really going to try to have this one be like a restream. But gosh, is it visible? Can you all hear me right now? Can you guys hear me okay? Hi, lovelies. Oh my gosh, it's so fun recognizing your usernames. So lovely to see you. I'm just going to do a couple of things on the computer because in the effort to get this live stream, which thank God it's actually working right now. I think I like tried it a couple of times and it looks like on my end there's like multiple streams and it says that people are waiting in those like alternate streams that I set up that I was not able to join. I was like feeling so helpless. I've done this before. Oh, yay! Hi! Thank you all so much for being here and for navigating the technical difficulties of Mercury stationing retrograde. I also wish there was some way that I could like tell TikTok. I hope no one is planning on joining over there. Just because I am on my phone, I don't know if I'll be able to join TikTok on my screen. But yeah, I was, oh God, there it is, 41. Oh, that's the one that okay. I was like, no, not 41 people waiting in a stream that I cannot log into. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Chiron. Hi, Muck. Oh, thank you, Elaine. You sweet soul. I so appreciate you. Oh my goodness. It's not allowing me to delete the alternate streams. Guys, who do I think I am actually going retrograde? Or rather, I feel like I'm going retrograde. Going live while we have a retrograde. This is insane. Right now, it's showing on my page as though there are 3 other streams. Okay, why can I not delete these? Please let me delete them. I just don't want anyone to be confused. Hello, I'm the one with the planet Pisces, Sun, rising, North Node. Oh my God. When it comes to, oh my God, wait. One moment. So sorry. Let me just see if I can delete it on this end because I don't want anyone to have to wait or be confused why I'm not showing up. Whew, this app is putting me through the ringer. Okay. I'm so sorry. We are going to have so much fun. We have so many fun games, fun things to do. I just want to see if I can figure this out. I have never had a harder time before. Oh my God, right? No, literally. Oh, thank you, Luminous Earthling Creations. That means so much to me. Life is crazy and wild right now. You could say that again, Kim. Honestly, truly. And I'm so happy to be here with you all. Just in case, I am going to challenge myself to keep this replay. It's going to bother me that it is vertical, but you know, we're going to push through my Virgo placements and I'm going to challenge myself to keep this up. So if you are joining via replay, please advance to the timestamp 15 minutes, just so we can like get a little chit chat. I want to connect with everybody, but then we have some really, really fun games. We have some content. We have, guys, look what I found. Have you guys tried these? These magic bars? It's oat milk chocolate. I just bought it purely for the name. I was like, you know what? I need this in my life on my birthday. So we'll eat that. I, of course, have my drink. Please let me know below what you are sipping on. My goodness. I knew it. And if you all like have heard me, I've said like I'm really bold for trying to do a live stream while Mercury is retrograde. Like, oh my God. Oh, it posted 3 different times and there's 3 different live streams and it says people are waiting in them. Oh my God. I just cannot do this right now. Please let me delete these. Please let me delete these. Please let me delete these. I just don't want anybody. And I guarantee for the replay, we will get into some things. And if you're here live, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for, okay. Thank you so much for bearing with me and bearing with Mercury. Okay, what is everybody drinking? I am drinking this delightful, okay, so hear me out. It's a strawberry white mocha, because if you watch Magic Monday, you know that I did that during Valentine's Day and it was so fab and so good. So I've been really into that. So it's strawberry white mocha, and then it's cold brew, but then I put in a shot of espresso and a little bit of oat milk. And then I tried to like cold foam. It kind of worked, kinda. And I tried to put a little strawberry in the cold foam. So my vision was strawberry cold foam, so. Thank you. I'm gonna get caught up on the chat. Thank you so much, Dabney. Soulful cherry. Oh, the good news is Soulful cherries right now, the Aries placements are really on you right now, but they will pass. Hi, Crystalline Alchemist. Hi, Nine of Pentacles. Oh, I love your name and that you're a Virgo. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sydney. I appreciate you. Here I am. Claudia, you're here. Hi, Claudia. I'm so curious. So Claudia and any other like Virgos here, I just want to wish you all a happy half birthday. I've actually seen quite a bit of Virgo placements in the chat. I want to wish you all a happy half birthday season. I definitely recommend celebrating one's half birthday. Okay, guys, we did it. We deleted the live streams. I'm so sorry if anyone got booted out of another like waiting screen. I'm not kicking you out of the birthday party. Everybody's so invited. I'm just over here fighting for my life with this technology, actually, which we all could have expected. Hello, Mercury's retrograde. We will get into all of the good things in about 8 minutes time. And if anybody is watching, oh, below me, that is absolutely the attitude. Let it go. Let it go. Yay, Bear. Okay, Sabrina, I'm so happy that you are here. I don't know if you just popped in, but I was like deleting these live streams because it was like different people were waiting and I saw your comment in one of the live streams. So I was like, Sabrina, no. I'm just fighting up here, fighting with technology. It was like so annoying. There was like a chat button and it was blocking the button of where I tried to go live. I tried different browsers. It was a lot. It was a lot, but you know what? It's meant to be. Oh my gosh, drinking menopause tea. This is what it's come to. I'm so happy that you're here. I always love seeing your posts. I'm always sending you such good energy. I just wrote you on your Sunday comment, looking for you. Like, girl, where are you at? I know, I was over here, just so you guys know, I sat down. I was feeling so good. I had my little coffee. I was ahead of schedule. I sat down at 11:50, which granted maybe was not enough time to like start to figure out all the tech stuff. And it most certainly was enough time. And then by 12, I was like crashing out. And then I just had to give up and do it on my phone because I tried so many different things. Thank you, Kyra. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Male Hecker. Ooh, green tea, Kyra. That sounds amazing. Honestly, those StreamYard trifle. No, literally, Mercury retrograde is such a doozy. Hi, Jess. Happy birthday. What are you doing for your birthday? So everybody wish Jess a happy birthday in the chat. It is also her birthday, and I feel so honored that you are here. Is the sound treacherous? Is that what you're meaning? How do I sound right now? Is it coming through okay? It just wouldn't surprise me at this point if, you know, all of technology just decided to hate me, because right now I'm trying not to take it personally how much YouTube just hated me. Okay, thank you, Crystalline Alchemist. I so appreciate you. Lisa Mimi as a Virgo. Okay, and I would love to hear from my fellow Gemini risings, my fellow Virgo risings. Technically, the Mercury retrograde does not begin until around 10 p.m., like just before 11 p.m. tonight. So it technically hasn't been underway, but I will say, of course, like we're getting the themes with with the shadow, the pre-retrograde shadow, and it's in Pisces. So I will say, and you guys will see this in next week's Magic Monday, if you watch Magic Monday, that oh my God, it's like my mind, I'll be like streaming and flowing, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's like made me very, very floaty. But the gift is I feel very creative. I feel very inspired. But when it comes to the Pisces energy, sometimes it just, poor Alex, my editor, is gonna have to like edit out so many moments that I had a moment where I was just staring over here. And I'm not kidding, I looked at the camera and I'd been filming for 24 minutes and I think I had like zoned out for like 15, like, I think we're all in a different place, so it's also important to just be like very gentle with ourselves. I'm also having some like home stuff, which Mercury retrograde, just so glorious. But luckily, gosh, I swear we're gonna get into the fun stuff in about 4 minutes time. But luckily it was not too bad. Basically there was like my upper neighbors, there was like something where I don't know what exactly happened, but it could have been really bad. It was basically like a leak, like there was a water stain that like suddenly appeared on my ceiling. I'm like, okay, very Pisces season, the watery energy, which of course can be so bad, like in terms of like pipes and things like that. But I guess they just spilled something. Like he went up there and it's dry. They were all like rectify it all. But now I have a huge hole in my ceiling because he had to cut in there. But I'm just grateful that essentially it wasn't like a bigger problem. So that's what's come up for me so far with Mercury retrograde. I would love to know about you all. I'm drinking plain water, hydrated, we love. I'm making myself some chocolate milk to celebrate my inner child. And that's what's so beautiful about Mercury retrograde, is that it can be a time of reflecting and reminiscing and like reconnecting with prior versions of self. Julie, you made it. Oh my gosh. I know that you had something today, but I'm so happy to see your name here. And funny enough, one of the games that we're playing today is actually inspired by you. So I'm so happy that you're here. Hi, no one. Happy belated birthday. I know your birthday was 2/23. I hope it was beautiful. I love that you have that Venus trine Jupiter that exacted that day. I love that you have that in your solar return. Okay, amazing. So we are going to jump in. I just want to thank you all, firstly, for being here. It genuinely means so much to me, especially when I'm over here battling technology in the way that I am. And before we get started, I am going to light my little candle. So this is my little birthday candle. The company is called Birthday Candles, if you've ever heard of them, but they gave me this a while ago, but it's the February 25th one. And I'm going to read this because I know Jess is here. So you're also this birthday. This is their take on today is, okay, obviously Pisces. We've been new. We tune in. We tune in. It says that it's the day of the sociable commander. Strengths, this is what cracks me up, because how is this a strength? And I'm not coming for them, but I'm just like, what? The strengths are popular, rich, and sociable. I'm like, okay, I'll claim that, but like, what on earth? And then the weaknesses, and this, they ate with this in my case, blustering, skeptical. I wouldn't say skeptical, and I wouldn't say I'm hedonistic. I think I read the blustering, and I was like, okay, me. But anyways, yay. So we'll go ahead and light this. I'm going to dress it up with some oils, and we are going to jump in once we bless the space. Oh my gosh, isn't it just the most special community? I love this space so much. I just feel like it's such a safe space, and obviously I'm biased. But my favorite thing, like every week, I love reading the comments. Like that is really just what makes me so happy. And I love how much you all support one another. Like I love the energy within essentially this community, and every single person, I swear, it's like, I don't know what it is, but, and obviously I'm biased, I know, but every single person that I've connected with from meeting them on YouTube or them finding my content on YouTube is such like a kind-hearted soul. I just feel like there's something about this community that draws in like really special, radiant, so many creative souls. Like I feel so blessed that I've gotten to connect with so many of you, and so many of you are so incredibly fabulous and constantly inspire me. Hi, Tiny. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, refill your coffee. Hi, Sandra. So lovely to see. Thank you so much for your kind words. Guys, I have to light a candle to light the, or rather, I have to light a candle to light the candle because I have fake nails and I'm not trying to get it burnt again. One of my nails is actually burnt because I was lighting a candle. This one. It's so sad. You can like singe the ends off. So happy birthday to me and to Jess and anybody else who's a February 25th or has their birthday coming up. I'm wishing us all a year of so much abundance, of so much love, of so much magic, of so much inspiration. I feel so blessed to be able to celebrate with you all today. I'm such a big birthday person, and when I was thinking about, I'm just going to share this. If you're ever going into a birthday and you're not sure how you want to celebrate, firstly, please celebrate it because you are worthy of celebration. Like, astrologers are big birthday people because obviously we work with your birthdays. We understand just how special and just how sacred it is. And secondly, if you're ever looking for like inspiration of how you celebrate, because you know, some birthdays you feel inclined to like do something a little bit more, you know, private. You feel more inclined to want to like gather together with friends. A way that I recommend like tuning in or like utilizing astrology in order to tune into what's going to feel the most like gratifying for me to like use this day towards. I firstly like to look at Jupiter, and the reason I like to look at Jupiter, I mean, obviously I'm a Pisces, as you all know, so I love me some Jupiter, but I like to look at Jupiter because it is a year-long transit, about 12 months to 13 months. So you have, it's like a nice little snapshot energy where like this is my Jupiter in Cancer, you know, birthday. Next year will be my Jupiter in Leo birthday. The next one, Jupiter in Virgo. Like, of course, there's lots of transits, but I love that Jupiter, it's like 1 year. So it kind of like captures the energetic of that particular slice of time or that particular birthday. That's why I also love like kind of categorizing summers by Jupiter. Like, I always make like a Jupiter in Cancer summer playlist. Jupiter in Leo summer is coming up this year. So I like to look at Jupiter just because it gives a little snapshot around what's kind of significant this year, or at least what arena is essentially expanded. So Jupiter in Cancer is in my 11th house. And then the other thing that I like to look at is the essentially sign that the transiting moon will be in. Of course, that'll be like kind of locked in within your solar return chart. But today's was Gemini, which is in my 10th house. So it's like, okay, clearly I'm going to want to gab. Clearly. And with Jupiter in Cancer, who better than with my community? Shanae! Oh my gosh, thank you for popping in. I hope you have a great day at work. I hope Mercury retrograde does not bring too many challenges. Thank you so much, Karen. Oh my gosh, so lovely to see you. Happy Venus return, by the way. I don't know if it already passed or if it's coming up. Also, Sabrina, if you're in here, happy Venus return. Happy Venus return to all of my Venus in Pisces loves. I want to get into what we're going to dive into. We have some games, we have some chit chats. If you have any questions, you're so welcome to drop it in, just in case you missed the drink. I'm really proud of this one. Strawberry white mocha, cold brew, shot of espresso, cold foam, a little bit of strawberry. And then at some point, this is a lot of sugar. I probably didn't need the bar, but then I have a magic bar because, you know, we like magic over here. And deepest apologies if anybody did try to join on TikTok. I think I just have to roll with the punches, that it just wasn't meant to be to go live. Okay. So, loves, we are going to essentially jump into an exercise. It's also a game, and I would genuinely love, like, we all get to do this live, which is so special. Like, I love that each and every one of you are here. Some of you might be doing laundry. Some of you might be going to work. Some of you might be working. Right now, I know I'm always listening to live streams when I'm working. But if you are able to, if you have your hands available, I would so love to connect with you all and hear from you all. Like, genuinely, when I ask these questions, I am wanting to know your input and your thoughts. And I'm hoping that these exercises can firstly refine our understanding of astrology, and then we are going to build it and to see how it is that we can better understand ourselves as well as step into all of our own potential. So I am so excited to dig in. I feel like this is also very appropriate with Pisces season, because to give an overarching essentially exploration of why we're doing this today. So today's Pisces season, obviously. I'm a Pisces, and there is a certain gift or ability as it relates to Pisces energy around shape-shifting. And that used to be something, and I would love to know if any other Pisces felt similarly, like within their lives as well. That used to be something that I used to kind of judge about myself. I always felt like, I mean, I guess there were seasons in my life that I felt less connected to the trueness of my essence. But even if I was very like in my own energy, it was like very natural for me to kind of like adjust and shapeshift to other individuals or kind of like match their frequency or match their energy. And it used to be something that I would judge about myself because I'm like, why can't I just not like stay fully formed within my own energy? And I know my Neptunians may feel me on that, where sometimes we could just kind of like absorb or feel into other energies. But the gift of it that I have found while Saturn and Neptune in Aries is asking all of us to really like own our authenticity and stay within our own space. The gift of it is that when we are able to kind of like meet other individuals' energy, like when we're more outgoing around individuals who are more outgoing, when we are more serious around people who are more serious, like we unearth and unlock almost like that component of ourselves, almost that like superpower that we're able to tap into. And the gift of astrology is that we're constantly studying these archetypes, and we even get like an access, we get a taste to these different energies as we navigate it. And so today we're going to like move through an exercise around how it is that you can like intentionally call upon those energies. For example, if you need more like confidence in a current situation. Oh my gosh, happy birthday below me later. My goodness, your birthday's right 2 days after the eclipse, but happy birthday. I hope that you have something fun celebrated. I would love to know, any Pisces, what you're doing to celebrate. And Karen, your birthday's coming up. Aries season is just around the corner. But when it comes to my life, it's been very helpful for me to have alter egos. Not that it is a different version of self. It's that it's a version of me that's like amplified, and like setting that intention around, this is the side of myself that I want to step into. And having that ability to sort of like shapeshift or pick up on other people's energy made me realize like I contain multitudes, and how powerful if we're able to like kind of sharpen into it and utilize the transiting sky as well as our study of astrology in order to familiarize ourselves with that energy and like call upon it. Because if you all know, I so apologize if I'm a bit redundant. I believe I have told this story before, but when it comes to me as a person, my name is Haley, but I am someone who's very shy, and like starting Haley Comet Astrology, like kind of chiseling Haley Comet, it's me, but it's like the version of me that's not shy, that's confident, that's, comfortable expressing herself even when she's on live stream. And we've been having all of the technical difficulties in the entire world. It's been helpful to kind of familiarize myself with that. And so what we're going to do today is essentially craft, and again, I got this idea from Julie. We're going to craft kind of an alter ego, different alter egos around the different sides of ourselves that we are like wanting to chisel and sort of step into. So, oh my gosh, I felt differently. Ooh, Libra sun rising. Felt more energized and fired up. I love that. Same when it comes to having some Aries in the cosmos. Oh, love it, Micah. Love it. Happy Wednesday. Yay. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you're all here. Okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to name a certain situation, and I want to hear a big three. So a sun, a moon, a rising that you think would really like excel in that certain situation. And so, for example, our first situation is going to be, let's say you are running late to a reservation, like a dinner reservation, and you need to like sweet talk and charm the maitre d' to still let you seat. Like you are over the amount of time. Like what is the big three that you think would particularly like thrive in that situation? We need some sweet talking, right? We need some charming. And if you don't want to go big three with it, you can just drop in, I think, Libras would do well with this. Oh, Luminous Earthling Creations. We are in sync. You said Libra rising right when I said Libra. Oh, love the Libra energy. Yes, Gemini. I was thinking Gemini as well. They've got that gift of the gab, and then the Libra energy, kind of the charm of it. Scorpio sun, Leo moon, Libra rising. Very powerful combo. Taurus, Libra, Leo. I could totally see that. 100%. Leo, Libra. Oh my gosh. Venus and Gem. Definitely. Venus and Gemini can be a super, super charming placement, as well as just such a, essentially, like when we think about Venus, we think about sweet things. So I hope all of you were able to feel some sweetness from Jupiter trine Venus. And with the Venus and Gemini, sometimes, they can be sweet with their words. Mars and Gemini too, they can like use their words as an asset. Okay, Libra, Gemini. Okay, amazing. So we're getting like some core themes. And this is something you could do even if you do not have these signs within. If you're going into a situation where like, ooh, I gotta turn on the charm. I gotta turn on the charm. It's like contemplating. Again, if you know Gemini placements, if you know Libra placements, it's like contemplating that energy and how is it that I can step into it and channel it. And this can all show up. Again, we're getting very Pisces with it. This can all show up within your energy, within your orbit, around as you're walking to, let's say it's you, okay, you don't have this Libra, Leo ready to send in. It's like really contemplating, okay, maybe I can pull from people I know. Maybe I can pull from characters. We'll play that game in a little bit. But how is it that I can step into this restaurant embodying this energy of Gemini? Like, what would a Gemini do in this instance? What would a Libra do? Because something I want to highlight here is that we contain every sign within us. Not that we have placements in all of the signs, but when it comes to each of the signs, they are somewhere within our chart. So there is a part of that essentially within us to kind of like tap into. Oh, I love that. Mercury in my first makes me a charismatic Pisces. Love that. And so contemplating, how is it that I would call upon this Gemini, Libra, Leo energy and step into this environment? Okay, great scenario. Next up, you need to be a fierce salesperson. You are going into a business meeting and you need to sell to this client. This person is intimidating. This person tries to kind of like talk down to you or like belittle you, and you know you need to maintain the upper hand in this instance. What do you think would be a helpful sign in that case, or a helpful big three? Guys, I know I've said it before, but this drink is so amazing. It's so good. I was like, you know me, I'm so like, when it comes to my Venus return was Monday, and today's my solar return, obviously. And it said that the events around your Venus return, your solar return, set the tone of what's to come. So like with this technical difficulty, I was like, no, I don't know if I can do a year of technical difficulties. I don't know if I could do that. But the coffee, I can take a year of good coffee. Capricorn sun, Aries rising, Scorpio moon, absolutely. Maddie agrees with the Cap energy. Yes, that Capricorn energy is going to be essentially strong. It's going to be ambitious. It's going to be essentially really boundaried in a sense. And I love putting some Aries in there. Yeah, Sagittarius. I love putting kind of some fire energy in there because I do feel like kind of to the opposite of my point of what I was sharing earlier, that yes, now I've come to a place where I'm able to like kind of appreciate my like containing of multitudes and able to kind of like connect with all sorts of different people, or kind of meld into many different environments. Fire energy, it's like kind of that zest where it's like able to kind of hold its own space and be like fiery if it needs to, be bold if it's need to, and retain its own essence. Like I always think about that with fire energy, that you throw things in and it stays itself, right? Like water, we dump things in and it kind of like becomes it. Fire burns it up. It becomes part of the fire. Virgo, Aries, Sag, love that. Okay, I love the common threads, and so lovely to see you. Happy Pisces season. And thank you so much for your email that you sent earlier. It was so, so kind. So contemplating next time that you have to go into some sort of fierce business meeting where you know that someone is going to talk down to you, how would a Capricorn walk into that room? How would an Aries walk into that room? How would a Sagittarius walk into that room? And know that you have that within you, or at least through the study of astrology, through interacting with these archetypes, even like as you watch certain films, like getting familiar with these archetypes helps you kind of like capture the energy as a little imprint in order to step into that within your own essence, or in situations or circumstances in which it does, in which it does essentially serve you in that particular instance. Okay, let's say that you are public. Next scenario. Thank you so much for giving your input. Next scenario would be public speaking. Okay. You are picked within your industry that you are going to be public speaking, and your aim is that you want to captivate the audience. You want to be very clear in what you deliver, but you really want to hold the space and hold your own energy. You want to be able to broadcast, you want to be able to announce, and you want to be able to shift out of stage fright. That's why I really love playing with alter egos, is you can assign some of kind of your fears and anxieties to other versions of you, right? Like you can say, oh, Haley has stage fright. Haley Comet doesn't. If any of you have an alter ego name, I'd love to know below. If you like name that person something particular, it can be helpful to separate around, ooh, and sometimes you'd be surprised, just kind of like, again, Pisces season, there is a lot to be said around the waters we swim in and the kind of reality that we cultivate. And so it's like really like contemplating, how is it that I can step into my most powerful version? Oh, I love that. Right on point. Oh my gosh. Okay, Libra, Pisces, Scorpio. Ooh, Gemini and Leo. Leo rising, Gemini sun, Gemini moon. Love that. The Gemini new moon energy of it. Letty says Gemini and Leo. Yes, definitely the Gemini is going to have a gift of communication. Leo is very good around the spotlight. You know, the spotlight can be uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, thank you, Micah. I adore you. Welcome to the little planets tier. Just a heads up, no pressure ever, but I do want to say that I do have a membership here on YouTube. I craft you a little calendar. It's going live tomorrow at 6:45 a.m. So it's a calendar for March. March, we have one more lunar eclipse in Virgo. We have the beginning of planets starting to shift into Aries and connecting with Neptune and Saturn's kind of activating that. So if you want to know the themes as well as some mantras, make sure to check that out. Gemini, Leo energy, and Virgo, Mercury, definitely. Like that gift of communication, that gift of expression is absolutely going to be that. Okay, love that. Let's say someone... Oh my gosh, thank you so much, JKR Zemian 5836. And you get a cute little star next to your name. I mean, come on. It's so cute. So let's say someone came for someone that you love, okay? Your bestie. Your bestie got their heart broken, okay? Or someone that you hold dear got their heart broken and you want to seek revenge. Not that I give that like a comic cosign necessarily, but let's say what would be a big three or even just like a sign that you think would be helpful if you wanted to, in some sort of season in life, in the name of justice and in the name of, you know, revenge for this person that you hold so dearly, what do you think would be like a big three combo or a sign that would be essentially more helpful in that scenario? Scorpio, yep, knew. Hi, Raphael. I knew someone was gonna go there. Leo sun, Aries moon, Libra rising, Cancer and Scorpio. Definitely, you know, we don't talk about that enough when it comes to Cancer energy, in that Cancer energy remembers. That's the thing. Like, there are so many things, me as a Pisces, that I am getting better about this for sure, but there's so many things that I just forget. I just don't hold on to anything, really. I just kind of like let it flow through me. And granted, I know the energy of Pisces sometimes can be very kind of like sentimental, but me as a Pisces, I kind of like live in a little bit of my own world. And so I will forget if somebody has like been rude to me or like harmed me or something. And usually people around me have to be like, oh, you know, this happened. So I do think it's helpful sometimes to let things pass through, like sometimes when we remember, but in the name of self-preservation, like I'm thinking my Cancer and Scorpio besties, and they, you know, they're the ones who would go to bat with me. Cancer and Scorpio, for sure. I completely agree with that. Leo sun, Aries moon, Libra rising, Scorpio, maybe Cancer is what you meant by the case. Okay, so our next scenario, we have a couple more of these. Okay, our next scenario, you want to start posting content. We'll say you want to start posting content. What would be, and this could also be personal because we all have different relationship with these archetypes. They all govern a different part of our charts. So let it be personal. Don't feel like there's no right answers with the game that we're playing. We're just kind of getting used to these archetypes and contemplating, what would be helpful in that situation? So let's say you want to be creating content online. What do you think would be a helpful sign to have, a helpful big three in order to support that particular aim? Like for me, I love, and this was accidental, and I talked about this during my, like all these birthday live streams. My last one was my business birthday. This is my birthday. I love that my business is a Libra. It was accidental, but I love that my business is a Libra. I love that my YouTube channel is accidentally an Aquarius, because like those are the signs that I tip. Yep, and you guys feel the same. Aquarius, Gemini, Leo, Gemini. Yes, Gemini, Sagittarius, Leo, 100%. Scorpio, rising, Leo, Mercury. I really love that, girl of the golden shoes, because also from a house perspective, that would put that Leo, Mercury likely, again, absolutely in whole sign, possibly in Placidus, in the 10th house, which is very good for creating content, putting things out there. And I also love from the Scorpio archetype, I really love, because of course, Aquarius, Gemini, absolutely. Like Gemini is going to have that ability to distill certain information. Aquarius is very helpful with essentially Wait, Marley, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And I love your username. Can I say my angel number is 611 because I was born at 611. I have one of my other angel number necklaces says 611. So I love that yours is, it's 6011, but same thing. And I always recommend angel numbers, like your birthday number can be an angel number, your birth time can be essentially an angel number because it is something that's very personal to you. But Gemini, Libra, Pisces, love that. Especially I think Pisces energy, obviously I'm a little biased, but I think Pisces energy can be helpful to kind of like adapt or shapeshift to a lot of different things, or like be able to kind of like adapt if like trends flow or things like that. I think mutable energy can be very good at that. But essentially, to my point about Scorpio, is that I do feel like Scorpio energy is very good. And this is something that I've learned. Wait, you were born at 6:11 a.m. Oh my God, I love that. Wait, that's so special. I love it. You need to get a 6:11. This is not the one. This is just 777. But I have one just like this, 6:11. You have to get one too. I just feel like every time I see it, like I say it on all the license plates and on receipts and whatnot, it just makes me feel so supported because I have a whole story about the day that I was born, but a lot of you have already heard that. But I love that so much. And I love Scorpio energy because it's very like kind of boundaried as it relates to essentially information and what is distilled. Because I always think about, Scorpio risings indicates that they have Leo in the 10th house. And we think of Leo, we think of spotlight, stage. I mean, a lot of us assign our public speaking character to Leo energy. And so we think of that, and then we think of Scorpio as very secretive and private, which it is and it can be. But I think there's an element of Scorpio rising with essentially Leo energy, likely at the top of the chart, where it's like being very intentional around what is shared, what is expressed, how one creates. I've been thinking about starting some sort of channel. I have Scorpio stellium and a Sag stellium. What a powerful combo as a Pisces rising. Fire signs in the career houses. Yes, because I think fire energy is like really good at just being kind of like unapologetic, or at least maintain their own essence again, which I think is necessary on social media. Like obviously there is an element where like have to adapt to where things are going, but like maintaining yourself, because if you just tap into like, oh my God, what does everybody want from me? You're going to get lost in the sauce of everything else. So I love it so much. Keep me posted, Crystalline Alchemist and Girl of the Golden Shoes. If you all start channels, like I said, my channel is an Aquarius, but that was accidental. Like not accidental necessarily, but it was not like a conscious intention of mine. Like, oh, I want my channel to be an Aquarius. But I kind of love, because like to the point of career houses, like being an Earth rising, I have like air in my career houses. So love that. And maybe even if it helps to contemplate, and for any writers too, this is a great essentially strategy as well, where you can also essentially like tune into different like characters that you write about by contemplating what would their chart be. Like I've talked to writers where they like will develop an entire like essentially chart for their characters. Okay, so our next scenario, are you guys ready? Okay, so our next scenario, you are needing to look good. You're needing to look good. And you are going on a little shopping spree. You need to do your hair. You need to do your makeup. What would be like a big three or dominant sign that you would want to call upon? And again, this could be personal because we all have different things that we kind of like or drawn to. But what would be the energy? Leo, Libra, Taurus. I was like waiting for the Taurus, the Libra, of course, with the Venus energy. Leo is helpful around, well, Leo governs hair. So absolutely, when it comes to hair energy, Leo, love it, Ashley. Oh my gosh. Do you guys ask if you get your hair done, do you ask for your hairdresser's sign? Do you ask for your accountant's sign? I'm like so curious. Taurus, Libra, Leo. Yes, Claudia, I completely agree. I love how much Leo is here. It does absolutely align with hair as well as like kind of like creativity, self-expression. Aries, Leo. Yes. Hi, Alicia. Okay, so you do this will be like add-on. It very much may be the same, so it's okay if it's the same. If you were sitting down to essentially get your hair done, what sign, if you ask that person their sign, what sign would make you feel the most comfortable and the most confident? Like be like, I'm in good hands. Like, I am in good hands. Like, what would be the sign that would make you feel like you are in good hands? Like, would you want a Virgo because their attention to detail? Would you want a Taurus because they're, good with the aesthetics? Do you want a Leo because that governs the hair? Is there any sign that would make you get up and leave? That would be so much. Oh my God. If you just sat down in a hairdresser chair and then you asked what their sign was and then you were like, oh, gotta go. I used to be like that. Not that I would leave, but I would kind of check out, which now I realize, with time, that's not something you should do. You should always give someone the, opportunity before we jump to the chart. Because obviously we have this information at our disposal. Okay, Leo or Aquarius would be the one that you would go with. We have this information at our disposal. But I do think it's important how someone chooses to grow into essentially their chart and activate the different components of themselves. I used to be someone I would see a chart and be like, oh, I don't know if I want to be this person's friend, or I don't know if I want to continue dating this person. Now I wait. I didn't ask. Oh my God, have I told this story in Magic Monday yet? Okay, I didn't ask my editor his sign just because I was like, let me not, and I am kind of in a season of life where I'm not someone, I used to be very much let me see your chart right now, let me see it. But now I'm someone where I kind of let the person prove them, because obviously the deeper you go into astrology, the more you realize it's within a chart. So it got to a point of just ethics around if someone doesn't know as much about astrology, they may not know and consent to how much information is available there. But essentially, hired an editor. It was really random, really beautiful story. I don't know. There are just some things that happen that I'm sometimes the universe just universes and it's so magical. And Alex was kind of that. My editor was kind of one of those situations. But get this, guys. Okay. So I didn't ask his sign until recently. We had to do paperwork stuff for taxes, and I saw a sign, so asked if I could look at his chart. And get this, Magic Monday, my podcast is, I should say, a Gemini sun, a Scorpio moon, and Alex is a Gemini sun, Scorpio moon. I'm like, what? And I had no idea. And he was the first and only editor I tried. How wild is that? That's why I'm now I'm not needing to screen as deeply around charts, because I'm sometimes the universe just aligns and puts the right people in front of you and you figure that out now. I guess there could have been a reality where I screened everybody's chart and picked who was the most aligned, but it's so wild how alignment just happened in that regard. And I am truly so blessed. And I feel if any of you have noticed his editing, I feel the Gemini really Geminis. I feel there's just little, I don't know, little things that he'll do. I'm okay, knowing that you're a Gemini, that makes so much sense. Yeah, vibes match. And I'm a Gemini midheaven. So it was that really aligned beautifully. Okay, we have two more. You are going to a match. You're going to a basketball game. You're going to essentially a soccer game. You're doing something where you're needing to be very competitive. What would be a sign or a big three that you think would be very helpful to get into that winning mentality, winning energy? Guys, I don't think I'm gonna be, I literally got this for the live stream, but this drink is so good and it's so sugary that I don't think I will. But just another moment for the magic. Maybe I'll eat it in Magic Monday, I guess. But I don't really, and look how cute this is. Magic is asking for the moon and finding the stars, a glimmer of something greater. Cute! And it's oat milk, which is fab. Okay, let me look. Aries. Crystalline Alchemist, oh my God! I love being here. I just don't love when my technology isn't technology. But I do love being here. It's so fun. Okay, Aries, Scorpio, Capricorn. Yes, completely agree. Aries, Scorpio. Scorpio energy, kind of that psyche, kind of being able to kind of plunge beneath. Virgo moon, Sagittarius rising. Aries, Scorpio, Aries, Capricorn, Aries, Sun, Taurus, Aries, Virgo. Beautiful. Okay, amazing. I think with the energy of, and again, you can always step into this. If there's something that you want to win, it's like, let me like embody that energy of Aries. Let me embody that energy of Mercury, literally. Literally. Who has a live stream the day that Mercury stations retrograde? I do. I do. But it's fine. We persist. And I am going to try to keep this live stream up. I don't know why, but I have this thing. After there's a live stream, I'm just like suddenly like, I can't be perceived. Like, girl, it's literally fine. And then I delete it. Like every time, I think maybe there's a couple of lives that I haven't deleted, but like every time I like have this moment of like feeling vulnerable and I was like, I have to delete it. But this one, we're going to have live for its own, because this is really a strategy that has helped me a lot. And you can do this in two ways. You know, like create the alter ego. So contemplate, like we're just kind of playing a game right now, just get kind of tapped into this archetype. But if there's a situation that you have, like you are going to a performance, you are writing songs, it's like, what's the energy that's going to help you like step into that essentially frequency and kind of embody that? You can either do it around, okay, this version of me, you know, I need some competitive energy. Let's put some Aries in there. I need, you know, some like optimism. Let's put some Sagittarius in there. It's like contemplating how would that person show up and seeing where is it that we can like kind of morph into that. So you can either do it that way where you kind of choose, or if you, like me, just kind of started things and you didn't necessarily, which I, like I was saying with Alex's story, I don't think everything needs to be perfectly orchestrated by astrology. Like astrology reflects what's happening down here on planet Earth. So sometimes you don't even need to consult with the astrology. It's just like aligned. And so even looking back, if you started a YouTube channel, when you started your job, like looking at the chart of that moment can sometimes be helpful too, around how can I like continue to align with that. I've been doing this a lot with the planets calling on Venus or Mars. Yes, 100%. And even personal placements, like you can just call on the frequency altogether around, ooh, I am going into this business meeting, I need my Mars energy, or I'm going into, you know, the social gathering, let's like put on some Venus energy, or even parts of your chart. If there are certain parts of your chart where it's like, you know, I love my exalted Venus. It's like, how can I step into this environment with my Venus and Pisces, like calling upon that? I have to call upon my Mercury in Aquarius a lot, which obviously kind of like calls upon itself. I'm ruled by an Aquarius Mercury, but it's a really helpful energy to essentially like get more cerebral with it if the Pisces is wild in. If the Pisces is wild in, I'll call upon Mercury in Aquarius for a lot of like business stuff, filming, going into like different like networking things. It's like helpful to kind of like have those planets that you can kind of like tap into or access, or like Virgo moon if, you know, I have to do errands or things like this. Okay, our final of this game, and then we're going to move on to some other games. I would also love to know if there's any scenarios that you all are like, what would be a sign that would be helpful for this, or a part, please let me know below. But our final essentially like iteration of this would be, let's see, you are going into environment, you are Esperanza, you are going into, I'm not calling on you, I did think just you reminded me or brought this into my forefront. Let's say you're going into a reading, like, oh my God, Libra Princess, yay, thank you so much for supporting the channel, I adore you. Now you get a little star next to your name, and just a heads up, there's two tiers. There's the Comet tier, which is just supporting the channel, and just know I am so grateful for you. I'm constantly praying for every single person who is in my cosmic corner of the internet and who supports me, like genuinely. Never feel like you ever have to be a member, but Comments is a tier where you support the channel and you get my eternal undying gratitude. And then the planets tier is the one where you get the calendar, and the calendar is scheduled for tomorrow, February 26th, and it comes out a couple of days before each month begins, because it's like the monthly calendar. It's printable, it's digital, has a little key for all the different energies and mantras, themes, all of that. So thank you, Libra Princess, and welcome. So back to my scenario. Sorry, you're going into a reading is what I meant to say. You're going into a tarot reading, or you're going into something where you need to kind of like be intuitive, but be able to communicate and distill it. What do you think would be a helpful sign, a helpful big three, in order to like kind of step into and chisel that sort of energy? It is hot in here, guys. I think after I'm off, I'm gonna go to the beach. Like, no joke. It's so warm today, which I feel so blessed. I swear, even with the technical difficulties, today feels so blessed. I mean, the sun's out. My coffee was good. There was like this... Guys, has that gone live yet? Maybe it hasn't. I had this spiritual experience, and like, hear me out, guys. I'm a Pisces, so I'm a little out there, so just rock with it. I had this spiritual experience with this bluebird. I can't even describe it. I was on a walk on Sunday, and this bluebird came from behind me, like flew right in front of my face. I was like, what the heck? Then went up to a tree and then was like staring into my soul. Oh my God. And it was like one of those moments, if you ever have those moments where you're just like, this is not of this realm. Like the color blue, it was like the most electric blue. It didn't look like a real, like obviously it's a bluebird, but it just looked so much brighter, and it was like looking at me. And while I was walking, it stayed with me for, I want to say like 45 minutes. I was like, literally, whose bird is this? And is this a bird? Like it literally felt like some sort of spirit. I don't know, guys. But this morning, I kid you not, I was walking back from Pilates. Don't know if it was the same bluebird. I mean, who could know? But swear to you on everything, a bluebird went right in front of me and it was just as bright blue. I'm not going to say it was the same bird, but I'm not going to not say it was. So I was like, all right, this is the best birthday ever. Like, I don't even care if the YouTube isn't working. Like, I got a visit from my bluebird. This coffee is amazing. That's all that matters. Okay, sorry, back to the point. Scorpio, Pisces, yes, 100%. Virgo, I love that you put in Virgo, Mishti. Sorry. I love that you put in Virgo. Virgo can be very, very tapped in, like as a sister sign of Pisces. Love the combination Aquarius, Moon, Gemini, third house. Love that. Scorpio, love the combinations. Pisces, Scorpio. Don't tell me you live in Florida because the beach closest to me is Jack. Right? I felt like it was the spirit too. I was like, who is this? I felt so blessed. I swear those small little moments are sometimes the most magical, but love it. Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius, I completely see. 12th house stellium, absolutely. Oh, and sorry, to answer the point, I live in San Diego. I don't live in Florida, but yeah, it is so beautiful here. I hope it's beautiful there in Florida. I know you guys got a bit of a cold snap. Okay, is that what it's called? Cold snap? Okay, so now that we have connected on some of these signs that could be helpful for these different scenarios, I'm going to say some characters. You may be familiar with these characters. You may not be familiar with these characters. This was a game that we played on the Playdate podcast, which if you have not checked out, please do. The host is so fun. She has the most fun games. I just want to highlight, this is a game from her. She basically pulled up different characters and was like, what do you think big three of this would be? But I really want to know your all thoughts. Okay, so we're going to start with Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. What big three or what sign do you think Elle Woods from Legally Blonde would be? And happy 1:11 p.m. here in California anyway. Let me know what time it is where you are. Anyone have any thoughts on Legally Blonde, Elle Woods? And we know. She actually does mention it. Okay, so one sign we know for sure. She mentions it in the movie. Do you have any thoughts on her moon or her rising? Libra, Cap, Aqua, love. I definitely could see the Aquarius for sure. And the Capricorn, honestly, with the work ethic, how she tapped in. I just realized she's a Gemini. They say it Bruiser, me and Bruiser are both vegetarian Geminis. She is a Gemini. I just realized, but I always thought of her as a Gemini, but now I realize I think of her as that because of that particular line. Yes, JC Samian. Yep, the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I love Aquarius moon. Ooh, I love that. I think I would put her as a Gemini sun, an Aquarius moon, and then I could absolutely see a Libra rising for her, obviously, just with the style and all of that. Ooh, that's very airy. That's a really nice combination. Okay, fab. Next up, some of these we may not be as familiar with as others, but next up, and again, I'm not a huge movie person, so unfortunately the realm of my movie and TV knowledge is a bit limited, but next up, we're going to say Regina George from Mean Girls. What do you think her big three would be? And I don't want anyone to feel hurt or like anyone's talking down to you if you have similar, signs. It doesn't mean you're Regina George or that you're, mean or what have you. But what do you think Regina George from Mean Girls, and just in case anybody's not familiar, she's like kind of the main, what would I say? The leader of essentially the plastics. Leo. Triple Leo, all that Leo. Leo energy is definitely going to lead itself to, being a leader. Again, it is solar energy. So it does kind of naturally call upon things to revolve it. And I think when it comes to all Leo placements, because I just adore Leo energy so much, and that I feel like they're such genuine, like, hype up, like cheerleaders. Like if I were to decide a big three of someone who just like, I don't know, it's like this energy around stepping into the greatness of yourself and wanting others to step in the greatness of themselves. So they tend to be like really great, like hype people, cheerleaders. But again, it is so important how it is that we kind of like leverage the energy. Because like to the downside, it could also be an energy where it's like all about me, what I say goes. Essentially, I am the leader. The Scorpio moon energy, absolutely. The Scorpio moon kind of like within that movie, like, obviously she was betrayed, and there is an energy around Scorpio moon is gonna, want its revenge, but it's like, it's strategic. After she screamed and she like kind of got to thinking, like the wheels turning, and sometimes the Scorpio energy is a little bit good around like playing the long game of things. I was also going to say Scorpio moon, maybe Aries moon, but more so, yes. So I think I could see the Aries moon, but I think Aries moon might be a little bit more like instantaneous, whereas like Scorpio energy, it's like strategic a lot of times. And again, that could also be a rising Gemini. That shadow side of Gemini can be at times, and I'm not saying this to any Gemini placements, Gemini energy, the shadow side of it can sometimes be kind of that duplicity around essentially, I love your bracelet, where did you get it? And then like shifting from that space. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I don't know if anybody has watched the show. If anybody has watched Mad Men, and I'll describe the character and we could just play it from that way if you're not familiar with the game. There is this man, his name is Don Draper. If anybody has watched the show, let me know what sign you think he would be. I'll just describe it just in case anybody has not. Basically, he's an individual where he's very, very creative. He's a creative director, but he has essentially fabricated. And I could also see a Capricorn Aquarius moon. She has mom issues. Aquarius moon would make a lot of sense because I feel like her mom always wanted to be like her bestie. And sometimes Aquarius moons feel that energy where it's like either my mom felt a little detached or like my mom was more like my friend than like a caregiver. Yeah, I could totally see that. Okay, so Don Draper, he's a creative director at a big agency. He has some escapist problems. He is someone who has fabricated his entire, essentially, life, his entire identity. He has essentially taken over another identity altogether. Anyone have any guesses on what someone like that would be? I think in watching the show, I feel like it's giving very Pisces to me. Just the energy around, again, like Pisces energy can be very imaginative and very creative, honestly. But it can be shadow side. Again, we play a lot in shadow sides when we play with archetypes. Shadow side of Pisces energy, it can be, consumed by, love that with the Aquarius. I feel like that makes a lot of sense in other dynamics of the show. But Pisces energy can be kind of that morphing into it. He has this line in it where he's like, you could just start all over again. You'd be surprised how easy it is to start all over again or to begin again. My old creative director had the same Don. Wow! Libra sun makes a lot of sense because it is very charming. And like in the show, like is able to like kind of turn it on. But something that we need to talk about with Libra energy is like, it is the only sign that is not, and I mean this in symbol wise, that is not alive, and that it is an inanimate object. Everything else is like an animal, a symbolic figure, a person. Libra is a scale, which again, Libra energy, as we know, is very charismatic. It can really like turn on the charm. But I just mentioned that it's an inanimate object just because it is this energy of scales. So it can be this energy around being very balanced, being very logical about things, as well as leveraging sometimes like charm and charisma as a tool in order to get what we want, or even like, you know, utilizing beauty to get what we want. Like we have to keep in mind it's cardinal air when we like really distill it down. Sagittarius possibly, absolutely. There's elements of excess definitely alive there. Okay, how fun. Anybody else have any characters? And then my last one, I was just gonna say, okay, Ariel from Little Mermaid. What sign do you think she is? What big three do you think she is? I'm sad my coffee's almost gone. What are you all sipping? If you're sipping something while watching. Yum. Aries. Red hair for sure. Do you have red hair? It looks like in your username, you do too. Okay, love that. I just think of like Aries energy, like the fiery energy. And she did want what she wanted, right? She rebelled. She like Cancer, Pisces. Okay, Cancer, Cancer. She better has water signs. Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe she's not like Aries, Sun, Venus, Pisces or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think she's got to have some water. I think, and again, I'm biased being a Pisces, I would imagine at least some Pisces in there because I think even that energy around kind of like idealizing and romanticizing, you know, this other world, right? Like the human world, even though like if you're a mermaid, like that's so magical, obviously. But there was this energy around like, you know, I'll be happy when. And she took action to make it happen to the Aries point. Like she did what she had to do in order to get out of the water, in order to grow her legs. It would be so hard if she was a Mercury ruled planet, being that she wasn't able to speak, she wasn't able to communicate. That would be so challenging. Hi, Carolina. Okay, so fun. I definitely think she would also have maybe some Aquarius in there. Rebellious, needed to do her own thing. You can't tell me what to do, Dad. Type of energy. Maybe she has some Uranus in there, something like that. If anybody has any of their characters that you want to play with, feel free to drop them below. But I wanted to share this with you all just because we all have these energies within us, and it can be a way to simply like amplify what already exists, where we may not find ourselves as courageous as an Aries, for example, but it's like knowing that that is within, and even like playing with dynamics like progressions. If Jess is still here, my progressions queen, like playing with dynamics of progressions, even observing, because if you are beyond the age of 28, you have experienced your progressed moon in every single sign. And so it's even contemplating like the elements that you're able to tap into with yourself as you navigate that progressed moon. So for example, my progressed moon is currently in Scorpio. I would love to know if anybody knows their progressed moon, if anybody wants to know how to figure that out. Again, we have all sorts of progressed placements. I just think moon, you're definitely going to experience all 12 signs because it changes every like 2.5 years. And it really like gives you exposure into what it feels like to essentially tap into that energy. And so it can be helpful. Like I was kind of fearing having a progressed moon in Scorpio. I was not over the moon about it at first. I mean, regardless of my emotions on it, it was going to happen eventually. But I've learned so much. Oh my God, Claudia, yay! Thank you so much for upgrading your membership. Now you get the calendar that comes out tomorrow at 6:45 a.m. And you'll see it in the little community tab, or if you go to my page and you hit the posts, I think is what it says. That's when the calendars are always there. And you should be notified by email when it is available every month. But yay, welcome. Thank you so much. So I was not particularly thrilled to have my progressed moon in Scorpio, but I've learned so, and that's not down on Scorpios. It as you all know, or hopefully a lot of you know, I'm a Pisces, so I love my Scorpios down, okay? I love Scorpio energy. It's just moon does not thrive in Scorpio, and so I was nervous about that. But I have learned so much with my progressed moon in Scorpio that I'm taking with me. So again, it's like stepping into different parts of our superpowers. Like for me, being a Pisces and other components of my chart, like obviously I am someone who is, or at least I hope this is clear, I am someone who is optimistic, or I come across as very bubbly, which I am. But I think my progressed Scorpio moon has really like illuminated just the necessity of being very boundaried in a sense, or like having kind of a thicker exoskeleton, not letting things get to me, as well as understanding there's a time and a place to be like bubbly and sweet, and there's a time and a place to be a little bit more fierce. So I feel like it has been helpful around stepping into a little bit more of my fierceness and kind of like not standing for certain things that I used to stand for. And that's like a gift that my progressed moon gave me, and me familiarizing myself with this archetype, where even with when my progressed moon shifts into Sagittarius, and for all of us, like our progressed moon, as I said, is always shifting. It's like, I'm going to remember this particular shade that it kind of like awakened within me, so that I know in certain situations when it's like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. And maybe there's other parts of my chart where I wouldn't say something, or I wouldn't stand up for myself. Like, I know what it feels like to kind of like step into this Scorpio energy and kind of like take action from that place. So it's such a skill, and I just wanted us all together in order to play in this zone. And I would really encourage, like, as you watch any sort of media, as you sing certain songs, as you like tap in, like asking like, what sign would this character be? What sign does this essentially song remind you of? Like, these archetypes are all around us, and it can help us in kind of like tapping into it, where maybe even if you're like, okay, like I want to step into my Venus energy, maybe it's having like a little Venus playlist that you listen to in order to shift into, okay, I'm shifting into Venus, or I'm shifting into Taurus energy, I'm shifting into Libra, always remaining in our own essence, but knowing that these archetypes are here for us to play with and for us to step into sides of ourselves that we might not always see are there. Like, there's elements of, and I've shared this before, but like before all of this, I was such a shy person, which I know if someone's online, it doesn't always seem that way, that someone could be shy. I mean, it doesn't always seem that way, but my shyness has dissipated so much since doing this, because it's like literally I had no choice but to step into it, or even just being in certain environments where it's like working at parties and reading everybody's charts. Like, that used to literally give me the heebie-jeebies. And now it's like having kind of an alter ego. It's helped me step into the confidence, or kind of the energy of being sure of myself that was always there, but it's just kind of like amplifying. It's tuning into it. It's highlighting it more so. So I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you for bearing with the technical difficulties, for spending some time with me. I would love to know if anybody has any questions. Feel free to drop them into the chat. We will close out with our Q&A. And speaking of the Little Mermaid, I think I'm literally going to go to the beach right after this. Pisces things. No sign owns the mermaid archetype. I definitely think water signs, we have a close community, but it's wild because my mom sent me like a picture of me and my sister, because my sister's birthday is tomorrow, and I'm dressed like a mermaid for Halloween. I was like, wow, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I still feel mermaid-esque. I currently have a progressed moon in Cancer in the 5th. Ooh, wow. What have you found with that? Like, have you stepped into different sides of like nurturing and nourishing yourself? Have you felt more lunar having your progressed moon like in domicile? Also, progressed moon in 5th house is a lot of fun. It can be very fun. Again, Cancer energy is definitely going to sharpen it, but it can be an energy around like birthing things, is what I think when I think of that combination, like birthing creative expression, or even having certain hobbies that really nourish you, or nurturing you, or creating something that feels very nourishing or nurturing. I don't know how far along you are with the progression, but I feel like it really gives you so much the more that you pay attention. Because again, a lot of times with a lot of progressions, we won't always like feel it at the moment, or even be aware of it. But sometimes looking back on journals, it's like, oh, I was kind of in that era. I took care of, I feel like that's that Cancer energy, just like having to like nurture and nourish. I want to say I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. And I think like the energy of Cancer is really around what and who we take care of and pour nourishment into. Like the energy of Cancer are obviously, it's like the archetypal mom, but it's like anything that we pour care into plants, pets, projects, wherever it shows up. It's like really the energy around how what we nourish grows. And I think that's so relevant right now with Jupiter in Cancer, like Jupiter being a planet that's around expansion, is like what we nurture grows. So I typically like advise individuals who have strong Cancer within their natal charts. I'm like, it is important for you to like pour your energy into things, but like ensure you're pouring it into things that also like either pour into you, or even just pouring into things that essentially you can see how much they grow. Like as you see your plants grow, you're like, wow, that's a reflection of the nourishment that I poured in. Or as you see certain projects grow, it's like seeing that grow. Because sometimes with Cancer placements, it's not the case with everything, but sometimes with Cancer placements, it's like I pour in, this nourishment feels like it's like if I'm pouring it into a person who's not in a space to be able to receive it, it's like I don't get to see how powerful I am in essence of what I like kind of pour into. We said goodbye the day after Neptune ingress into Aries, and it was the right time. She lived an amazing life. Oh my goodness. And just the way that astrology just like archetypally speaks in that way, just around, I mean, she's 18. Neptune entered Pisces, what year? 2011? So, wow. So like a huge, almost all, but not all of her life was Neptune in Pisces. Oh my goodness. And how lucky is she that she had you to essentially transition her over to the other side and just be so caring and compassionate with your energy. That is so beautiful. And the progressed Cancer moon energy of it all. Oh my God. I swear, the bluebird incident that I told you all about earlier, like that made me cry. Like everything today is just like very normal things. Like nothing crazy has happened, but I saw the bluebird and I was like, okay, now I'm losing it. My Pilates instructor this morning knew it was my birthday. I teared up. I'm like, okay, Haley, I know you're a Pisces, but like this is a lot. We do not need to be crying at bluebirds and at your instructor remembering your birthday. Like, it's early in the day. There's no need to cry. Perfect timing. My coffee is all dropped off. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. If there are any final questions, feel free to pop them into the chat, but I'm going to transition off. I just genuinely, I wanted to spend my birthday with you all. Jupiter and Cancer in my 11th house. I was like, I want to spend time. I just wish we were really having a party right now. I know exactly how and what we would do. Okay. If we were all together right now, I would want, obviously it would need to be, let's see, we've got 69 people here. So, and if anybody is watching on replay, I'm going to try to leave it up. But, okay. A space, I think I would want it to be like mermaid themed, kind of the name of the vibe as of late. We've been talking about a lot of mermaid things. I would decorate it mermaid-y. We would have, everybody would have a name tag and have their big three listed, and maybe even on the name tag there would be a little QR code where if you were like connecting with someone, you could be like, oh, can I see your chart? And you could like scan the QR code and they could scan yours, only with consent, right? There's a big three. I would divide everybody into elements. So I would have like a fire element zone, an air element, an earth element, and a water element. And I would just be so curious just to even witness. I just want to tell you all, a couple birthdays ago, I had a party and we played a game where we had essentially all of the different elements all together. And you would have thought that, well, firstly, for some reason, even though I'm a water sign, for some reason, there was only, I think like there was only two people water sign. I think there was like 11 air signs. Like air signs, I don't know why. I love them. There were so many there. There was like a couple earth signs and then like a handful of fire signs. And you would have thought, right, stereotypically, and obviously everybody here knows how in-depth astrology is, how it goes so much deeper than just our essentially sun sign. But you would have thought that the fire signs would have been like, maybe like the loudest or like something like this, but they were all being like very demure. I was like, what's going on? what's going on? Then again, they were very outnumbered by the air signs. We were playing Jeopardy and the air signs like won, which was very stereotypical. Like, of course, the air knew everything about all of the trivia. It was just so fun. I've done also, like when I've done events for schools, we've divvied up the kids by element. I remember the fire element in that instance were like the most energetic, running around. The airs were all like talking amongst one another. It was really interesting. The earths were like all calmly, essentially sitting and fighting one another. But the adult version of it did not necessarily convey the same. I was like so surprised. But anyways, if we were all in person together, I would divvy us up all into element. And from that space, we would, maybe it would be trivia. I don't know. We'd play some sort of game and see which element would win. Air might win trivia like they did. Oh my God. Thank you so much, District 12 all day. Welcome to Magic Monthly Planets. I so appreciate you. The calendar. So sorry if I'm repeating. Oh, a bluebird of happiness for your birthday. Right? That's how I felt with the bluebird. I would invite the bluebird to the party for sure. You'll see. It's in the Magic Monday. If you watch Magic Monday, it'll be in next week's episode. I go on a whole tangent about the bluebird. I may have Alex trim out some because not everybody needs to know all of these things about the bluebird. Anyways, I wish we were all in person and that we could bring that astrology party to life. I feel like that would be so fun. But I just thank each and every one of you for spending part of my birthday with me. I hope that you all have a blessed eclipse season. I know that it's intense. Remember to ground down, remember to eat, remember to do things that fill up your spirit, even if it's small things, even if you have eye contact with a bluebird and that makes your life, it's those little like moments of magic within the mundane that make this experience possible and like sustain our spirit amidst it. So thank you all so much. I hope that you have a beautiful Pisces season. Thank you again for being here.